Sarah, this is Abby, and welcome to Azul Unlimited. I'm a scuba instructor, and I lived in my van for a little over 3 years after living abroad as a dive shop owner. Now I'm living in an old sailboat with the hopes of sailing and diving around the Pacific Northwest and beyond. On this channel, you'll get scuba lessons, dive site explorations, and sailing adventures. Join the community here on YouTube or come diving with me around the world on one of my expeditions. Oh man, you guys, this video has been an absolute beast to edit. And during all of this, I've been preparing for my haul out for my boat. So my brain is about to explode. But before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out to Divers Alert Network, who is sponsoring this video. So if you don't have dive insurance, or if you're going on a trip and you want to make sure that your trip is covered, check out all the different policies offered by Dan by clicking the links in the description below. Sponsors, Patreon members, and people who join my expeditions are the reason why I'm able to make videos like this, and I'm so grateful. All right, let's get into the video. Who just tried to eat poop in the garden and got her face washed with soap? You didn't like that very much, did you? Cochina. I have been trying to get to Socorro for years. The first time I attempted to sell a trip to the famous islands in Mexico, I failed. So when another opportunity came up, I was a little hesitant. But the mission of this new trip inspired me to take a leap of faith. I mean, we could get one of these, right? It's no problem. Can totally afford one. Boarding the boat for a week of adventures with new and old friends was really exciting. She's so cute. Of course, some of my Seattle crew joined the fun, but we had people who flew in from Germany, France, Nicaragua, Canada, and all over the US. The group was eclectic and immediately bonded over the common goal of supporting ocean conservation. This is the real buddy team right here. Don't get sick. What are friends for?
Give me your neck. Vampire, like 72 hours. All right. Thank you.
This is the bonding experience on the passage.
Am I not supposed to have this on yet?
By nightfall that first day, we were off on a long, super rocky boat ride to Socorro. And by the way, Socorro is not the most accurate name for the area, but the most recognizable amongst divers. The name for this region of Mexico is pretty challenging for English speakers, and I actually only grew confident in saying it after a week of hearing it every day, and I consider myself fluent in Spanish. So let's work on it together. Revillagigedo. 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 Okay, we got it? El Archipelago de Revillagigedo. Okay, maybe that was a lot. the short form nickname is Revilla. All right, we're on the same page now. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me speak about the nonprofit organization Fins Attached. They're a marine research NGO based in, you guessed it, Colorado. But seriously, they run trips to help fund and advance studies focused primarily on sharks and rays. When I met the founder, we decided to work together on a shark research trip. Unfortunately, due to permit restrictions from the Mexican government, we did have to switch our trip focus to manta rays, which is still incredible, but I'll cover more about that later in the video. To visit Revilla, you need the Advanced Open Water Certification and 50 logged dives. Your buoyancy needs to be on point, and it's best to have some comfort with currents. Nestled nearly 250 miles off Mexico's Pacific coast, Revilla is made up of 4 islands. We have San Benedicto, Roca Partida, Socorro, and Clarion. And in this video, I'm going to go back and forth between Spanish and English pronunciations, so forgive me. Volcanic activity created steep underwater walls and dramatic topography in the middle of the ocean. This isolation and unique structure make them a hotspot for marine biodiversity. In 2017, the Mexican government established the Revillagigedo National Park, banning fishing and all extractive industries to create the largest fully protected marine reserve in North America. It was a massive step for ocean conservation, preserving over 60,000 square miles of critical habitat. This move was possible thanks to research and conservation efforts in the area, including a pivotal Fins Attached expedition which took place in January 2017. Partnering with Mission Blue, Fins Attached helped lead a Hope Spot expedition to highlight the ecological importance of the region and the urgent need for enhanced protection. Their team deployed underwater acoustic monitoring devices to track the movement and behavior of sharks in the area, providing vital data on how these animals use the islands as part of a larger migratory corridor connecting Revillagigedo to other marine reserves like the Galapagos and Cocos Island. This information underscored the region's importance for shark conservation and supported the case for permanent protection. Here, pelagic life thrives. Over 7 species of different sharks are regularly seen, oceanic manta rays with wingspans of 15 feet or more, and even whale sharks glide through these nutrient-rich waters. Humpback whales migrate through the area from January to March. We even saw them in early May, and dolphins are often cruising around dive sites, luring unsuspecting divers into deco. The Revillagigedo Islands are a true sanctuary for shark enthusiasts, offering encounters with an impressive variety of species. Most famously, divers can witness large shivers of hammerhead sharks. Not to be outdone, though, Galapagos, silvertips, dusky, oceanic blacktips, silky, and white-tip reef sharks regularly make appearances to wow divers throughout the year. Even tiger sharks have been known to make appearances as well. It is one of the most reliable places on Earth to observe multiple shark species on a single dive trip.
Need a little boost.
Yeah, baby.
This is a group of fish where the sharks, chimeras, and rays and mantas belong Be careful with the currents, okay?
2, 3.
The seamounts and submerged ridges surrounding the islands create natural cleaning stations where all the different players in this ecosystem congregate. An important thing to note about diving out here is the topography. Many of these dive sites are deep wall dives, which means you should definitely have clips, bolt snaps, or bungees for all of your accessories. Several people dropped cameras and torches throughout the week, but we were able to retrieve all of them. One of our dive masters even had to go on a special recovery dive for this GoPro. All right, let's talk about manta ray research. Our two scientists, Fernanda and Maria, collaborated on a brand new research topic regarding the properties of manta ray body mucus. As divers, we've all been taught that mucus is a protective barrier, but we haven't known specifics about why it helps. This study will hopefully shed light on the topic. Fernanda and Maria used a camera and laser setup to collect identification and size data. Mucus samples were collected with toothbrushes and sample vials. They collected dorsal and ventral samples, the back and belly respectively, as well as a simple water sample in order to compare organisms in the water with those found in the mucus. It was impressive to watch them complete this work. Anyone who's been in the water with oceanic manta rays knows how fast they are. Maria chose freediving fins for this trip to give her more power to keep up with them, but she still had to be strategic and patient about getting all the necessary samples. After the dives, the samples were preserved in alcohol and put in cold storage until they can be processed back on the mainland. We are all looking forward to hearing about the findings of this study so we can share more information about the importance of not touching manta rays. We didn't get much dolphin activity on this trip, so when I saw them, I made a lot of noises to keep them engaged a little longer. They kept circling back to see what the crazy creature singing at them was all about.
Jeez.
I do not plan on taping your mouth shut. That was just a brilliant idea.
I think you should.
Start explaining a little bit about the mucus. What are the functions and does it help the manta?
Thank you, Chef.
And then say the cake.
We were not prepared for what awaited us here.
Epa. Vámonos.
This is one of the most iconic dive sites of all the islands here. Diving Roca Partida is like dropping into the center of a blue wilderness cathedral.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
This unique rock juts dramatically out of the Pacific and plunges deep below the surface. With no shelter from the elements, dive days here have to be planned according to the weather forecast, and it's well worth the effort to explore. The exposed location means currents can be strong and unpredictable, but with currents come loads of pelagic action. Divers often descend into massive schools of jacks and tuna, swim eye to eye with manta rays, and hover near balconies where white-tip reef sharks pile up to rest. Diving with oceanic manta rays is an intimate experience, particularly in Revilla. They often seem to seek out human interaction by gliding up to divers with what seems like curiosity in their eye contact. They also lingered above us to feel the sensation of exhaled bubbles on their bellies, returning again and again as if enjoying a spa treatment. Each encounter felt personal and profoundly moving. There even came a point in the trip where manta ray sightings were so regular that they seemed to just be part of our dive team. Unlike most shark species that need to keep swimming to breathe, white-tip reef sharks have the unique ability to rest motionless on the sea floor by actively pumping water over their gills. This allows them to lounge on the reef during the day, often tucked into caves or resting under ledges. Even more endearing is their habit of gathering in groups, or what I like to call cuddle puddles. On the very last dive here at Roca Partida, we were blessed with the most unforgettable sighting. What started out as a faint irregularity of shadows and white dots, out of the deep came a whale shark. And it was huge. After sending our footage to a whale shark marine biologist in La Paz, we discovered that this particular individual was not in the database. Our marine biologist Maria was the first to spot it, so she gave it the name Sunny.
That was perfect! It's an ear party, Karen, you're being left out. Says our resident doctor. Not human
Do this
doctor.
and call me in the morning.
Let me know if you have ticks or fleas. Wetsuit wiggle.
Water temperatures in the Revillagigedo Islands typically range from 72 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 22 to 27 degrees Celsius. Cooler temperatures are more common from December to April, especially at depth. Many divers are comfortable in a 5mm wetsuit with a hood, though some prefer a 7mm suit for longer dives or to stay warm for repetitive diving days. This is all highly personal. We had a dive guide who did not wear any wetsuit whatsoever, and then other people who were still cold in 7mm. So whatever you need to be comfortable with the conditions. For me, I rented a 5mm suit, and toward the end of the trip, I really regretted it. I didn't have space in my luggage for my 7mm, but if I were to go back, I would install a P valve on my dry suit and keep it on all day. The wind was killer out there, and I probably would have died without my surfer water parka. Although the pelagics steal the show in Revilla, there is abundant macro and fish life out here. We saw tons of nudies, and all of us grew a deep appreciation for seeing Clarion angelfish on the dives. Arturo, one of the other marine scientists, taught us that Clarions are one of the main cleaner fish for oceanic manta rays, and for many years they were disappearing from the ecosystem. This wasn't a climate change or habitat destruction problem as we've seen in many other parts of the world. The issue was linked directly to aquariums. Clarion angelfish grew very popular among saltwater aquarium enthusiasts. That meant fishing companies could collect a high price by capturing them from cleaning stations and transporting them for sale. These fishing teams would avoid limits and regulations by claiming the Clarions were Garibaldi. Anyone who's ever seen a Garibaldi would immediately know the truth, but that's the thing about the fishing world. Lying and corruption go hand in hand with overfishing, bycatch, and destruction of habitats. Now that stricter conservation rules are in effect, the Clarion angelfish population has rebounded spectacularly.
And action. Turtles and dolphins, oh my!
Right on the front. Very, very front.
That is so cool.
They here? Oh, baby! Look at the baby! Oh!
It's truly incredible how worn out your body can feel during a liveaboard trip. My body was aching all over the place because I'm really not used to doing this much diving anymore. It's also a not so subtle reminder that although I'm not old, this 37-year-old body doesn't recover quite as fast as my full-time instructor body did in my 20s. Hell, even in my early 30s. But that didn't stop me from hopping in the water for every single dive on this trip.
There we go.
Looking good, looking relaxed. Now let's learn about mantas.
Literally regular toothbrush, and we're having these little bottles.
On our last day of diving, we had a second chance to enjoy the shark capital of Revillagigedo Islands, and two of us really lucked out here. My dive buddy, Yan, and I got distracted by an octopus who was out and about on the reef. We filmed it for a while and then moved on to catch up with the rest of our dive team. As we were swimming, I turned around to check in and noticed a dark shadow approaching Yan from behind. I signaled for him to turn around, and the shark came into view. As it turned, it revealed the familiar stripes of a tiger shark. Both of us were stunned. The encounter only lasted seconds before it flitted out of sight again. It was too far for me to capture any footage, but it was a moment that I will never forget.
You have a big blob.
I cannot tell if it's sour cream or sunscreen on the tip of your nose. I really can't.
I love it.
You may want to taste it. I don't really.
Go sports ball! The Seahawk fans are here. There we go.
Seahawks! Seahawks!
Last dive! Last dive!
There were countless beautiful moments on this liveaboard trip, and it is easy to get lost in the schedule and excitement of the sleep, eat, dive lifestyle. However, that doesn't mean real life stuff pauses back home. Midway through the trip, I found out that my uncle was in the hospital and put on life support. The next day, he was gone. That night, I had a moment to myself at the stern of the boat, watching sharks dance through the lights. My heart hurt, but that kind of grief wasn't something I wanted to share with people. So the sharks turned out to be perfect companions. As I began to process the grief, I found comfort in the smallness I felt next to the mantas. Death is always a powerful reminder of the beauty of life as we know it on this floating rock in space. It's easy to take life for granted, to go to sleep at night assuming morning will come, but that's not always going to be the case forever. It might be morbid, but death reminds me to take chances, to chase my dreams, and to appreciate even the tiniest moments of awe. One day I may not be fit or able to dive anymore, and I don't want any regrets when that time comes. It's easy to get caught up in life and find reasons why I can't afford to travel or don't have time for it, but it's important to strike a balance of showing up for the adulting part of life while allowing the free, wild child to get out and play.
Yeah, I'm alone. We are rocking and rolling, heading back to Cabo San Lucas. This place, best diving I've ever experienced, hands down. Like, so freaking cool. It's expensive to get out here, but it's worth it. If it's on your list, start saving. Get out here. And if you tend to get seasick, make sure you have every option of seasickness medication available to you. I'm so grateful and lucky that I'm not feeling sick, but yeah, some people are suffering.
Being here, and I want to start with a big round of applause for everybody.
The boat ride back to Cabo San Lucas was pretty rough. What normally is a 24 to 30 hour ride took us about 34 to get back, and everyone was grateful to see land.
We finally made it! Oh, it's beautiful.
That's it. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more from the Azul Unlimited community, you can join us over on Patreon or sign up for one of my upcoming expeditions. Details are on my website. Okay, love you. Bye.
Who's the most beautiful dog? Well, tied for most beautiful. You and Abby. Ay. Te quiero mucho. Mucho, mucho, mucho. Papá. I honestly don't know how much longer I can work like this. My computer cannot handle video editing.
Most famously, divers can witness large shivers of hammerhead sharks.
It's completely lagging.
Galapagos, silvertips, dusky, ocean.
I think I might have to buy a new computer. This is just too much. Like, it is from 2019.
El archipiélago. El archipiélago de Revillagigedo. El archipiélago de Revillagigedo. Okay, maybe that was a lot.